Honey blocks are amazing. I think we can all agree on that one. I mean, I've made a ton of honey block videos recently, building all sorts of new redstone contraptions that have just recently been made possible with the addition of these wonderful things. But they're not perfect. You know, there's plenty of things that honey blocks can't do. So in today's video, I'm going to take you through a bunch of them. The first thing that you can't do with a honey block is power a piston or any redstone components with them, because honey blocks, unlike slime blocks, are transparent. The next thing that is absolutely totally impossible with honey blocks is pushing more than 12 blocks. You see, honey blocks, you know, if you wanted to push 13 blocks, maybe even 14 blocks, 15 blocks for example, you wouldn't be able to do it. They're limited at 12 blocks. The third thing that honey blocks can't do. I mean, look at this. It's not even budging. Not even the... Look, I'll get right up close to it. It doesn't move even a millimeter. I mean, I thought these blocks were meant to be the best blocks in the game, but they're looking a bit pathetic now. Anyway, the fourth thing, and this one's a very important one, you can't create player launchers with them. I mean, if you think of the slime block, the fun slime block, you can launch players around, everything's all exciting, all good fun, you can shoot villagers out, creepers, you can fire a creeper into the air. Honey blocks, none of that, you actually stick to them. Another thing that you absolutely cannot do with the honey block is move an entity that is next to it. I mean, I thought these things were meant to be sticky. We're meant to stick to these things, and yet I'm not moving. You also can't, and yes, I'm not joking here, you can't move an entity that's underneath it. I mean, these things... We're meant to stick to this stuff. Alright, I'm meant to be moving around with this thing, and yet here I am, standing perfectly still, while this thing moves about around me. But you know, that's not all the honey block can't do. It doesn't end there. A honey block cannot move an entity that is 1 block away from it. That's because that would be daft, wouldn't it? That would be... Yeah, that doesn't make any sense. Huh. Okay, what else? Well, I tell you now, if you have a slime block that's next to a honey block, right? And then you move the honey block, it won't move the slime block next to it. So you can't move a slime block that's next to a honey block. Wait, no, I quite like that actually. No, that's something that I like. I use that all the time. That's the reason I like them so much. Okay. This one's a good one. If terracotta is next to a honey block, you really can't see that actually. That's super camouflaged. If terracotta is next to a honey block, can't move it. Yeah. You can't move the No, that's useful too. I keep coming up with useful things that it's doing that it can't do. That's good. Alright, okay. This one's the one. One thing that you absolutely can't do with a honey block is make a racetrack, because, I mean, look at this. Look, you move so slowly on it. I mean, look. This is no fun at all. I'm not running. I'm barely even moving. What does it even look like? Yeah, no, I'm not even running. And, you know, there's another thing that you can't do, speaking of athletics and things. You can't really jump on it. Look at this. Absolutely pathetic. On honey blocks, you cannot jump. You cannot jump on honey blocks. See, I told you these things are rubbish. Moving on to the 12th thing. Yeah, there's 12 so far. Plenty more to go. The 12th thing that you cannot do with a honey block is make a bathroom door out of them. Because they're slightly transparent. You wouldn't want to make a bathroom door out of something that's kind of transparent. Look, you can kind of see me moving around. I'm in the toilet right now doing my business. This is not a good situation. And actually, in a similar vein, the 13th thing that you can't do with honey blocks is to build a floor out of them if you like to wear kilts a lot. Obviously, this doesn't apply to me because I don't wear kilts. I'm more of a trousers man myself. But if I was wearing a kilt right now, you wouldn't want to be down there with this honey block roof. You know, I'm starting to think that maybe honey blocks aren't that good. And I tell you what, it only gets worse from here. Here we have some homework. If you were to give it to a honey block, it can't do it for you. It's just... Look, no response. Just leaves it there to despawn, which would be the funniest excuse for not handing in your homework. It just despawned. All jokes aside though, because of course this is a very serious video, the 15th thing that honey blocks cannot do, and I personally think this is quite an important one as well, is you can't open an iron door with them. Or I should say, I mean, you can open an iron door by breaking it, but you can never close it again, and then you can never open it again. It's gone. You've broken the door. Does that count as opening it? You know what, I don't really care. A 16th thing that honey blocks can't do. It can't be eaten. It can't be consumed. Look, I'm holding down the right click button, nothing. I'm even trying to get it close to my mouth, but none of it's going in. And this is a 1 meter cube of honey. You should be able to eat one of these right? And never have to eat again in Minecraft because you have so much food and calories, it lasts the rest of your life. I genuinely do kind of wonder how many calories would be in a 1 meter cube of honey. Anyway, one thing that you definitely can't do with honey blocks is stand between them when they've been placed directly next to one another. Now, I know what you're thinking, that's impossible in Minecraft, that doesn't make any sense, but I raise you the end rod. Okay, look at this. Directly next to one another, straight between them. The honey block just isn't good enough. And I'll tell you what else you can't do with a honey block is kill a sheep with it. Now, I don't know about you guys, but I personally absolutely love killing sheep with various different types of blocks in Minecraft. And I was very disappointed to find that the honey block is not one of those blocks that I can use. Look, this sheep is fine. He's chilling. In fact, he's loving the fact that he's surrounded by honey. Who wouldn't be? Me, actually. That would get all up in your crevices. It would be horrible. But staying on the topic of animals and things, bees absolutely love honey, yet you can't actually attract bees with honey blocks. You would think that they would be all over this stuff. They'd be flying from miles around to see 4 meters squared of honey, or cubed. But no. And I tell you now, it doesn't end there. We've still got so much more to go through. Did you know, right, that you can't wear honey blocks? I mean, look, I've attempted it here. Okay, I try my best. And let's be honest, it just looks really painful, doesn't it? Look, that is a neck breaker. That is not a good situation. The 21st thing that you can't do with honey blocks is go on a nice romantic dinner with them. I mean, look, sun's gradually setting, I'm holding a rose, everything's beautiful, and the honey block's just not really being very talkative. Yeah, not a whole lot going on. Not even sitting on the chair properly. Thing that you can't do with honey blocks, number 22. Did you know that you can't store more than 1,728 honey blocks inside a single chest? I mean, I know that's the same for all blocks in Minecraft, but these are meant to be the new best blocks in the game. You'd expect more from them. And did you also know that with honey blocks, you cannot, I repeat, you cannot, no matter how hard you try, you cannot place 2 of them in one spot. I'm trying my best here. Look, there's 2 of them, but they're not in the same spot, so that doesn't count. Another thing that the honey block can't do is travel faster than light. I mean, look at this. Look. Wasn't even close, was it? Pretty pathetic, really. Look. I mean, what's that? It's not even the speed of sound. What a joke. I tell you what else they can't do either, and this one's embarrassing. Okay, because pretty much everyone could do this. Is solve Fermat's last theorem. I mean, last I heard, they're not even working on it. How embarrassing is that? And, I mean, what's even more embarrassing is Fermat's last theorem has already been solved. And if they had Google and could Google things, they would already know that. But I guess they probably can't do that either. I haven't researched it, but I imagine they can't. I mean, imagine thinking you're the best block in the game and not being able to Google things. The ego on these. And I tell you what, they're not nice to hang around with either because I can't remember your name. I mean, look, this one thinks I'm called Darren. I mean, I wrote out this sign, okay? I'll admit to that because they can't write out signs. That's another thing they can't do. Because yeah, I don't know. It might know my name, but I imagine it doesn't. And the list goes on. I mean, we're now on to what? This is the 27th thing that they can't do. You see this? This right here, this is a cow, okay? Now, these cows, they don't claim to be the best block in the game, but they can feel love, and they can show signs of love. And, they can feel loved. This can't. 28th thing that honey blocks can't do is be juggled. Look at that. I mean, an attempt is being made, but they're hitting it's not juggling, is it? And you know what else? They can't juggle you. I mean, look at this. Honey blocks can't juggle players. It's just another thing that they can't do. And for the 30th thing that honey blocks can't do, I've got a big one. They can't stop me from using them in my builds. I can't stop. My mind is overflowing with honey block ideas. I don't know what to do. All of my redstone videos have turned into honey block videos over the past couple of weeks. I've been obsessed. My notebook is overflowing. My brain is overflowing. I just can't stop thinking about honey blocks. In fact, this video was kind of an attempt. It was an attempt for me to not like honey blocks so much anymore by highlighting all the things they can't do. And sure, they can't do your homework. Sure, they don't show signs of love or affection, but they're still wonderful. And I still think that they might just be the best block in the game. And this video might just be the biggest goof of video I've ever done. As I was recording it, I was like, this is ridiculous. Kind of came up with this idea on the fly. I thought it would be fun. It was definitely fun to record. It's so silly. I've been building way too much serious stuff with the honey blocks. I thought I needed to mix things up with something really, really daft and old school mumbo jumbo.